What's up guys, my name is Joe and we are back with another episode of British Guy Reacts, and we're continuing with our tour of the different college football conference stadiums. They're not rants today, we're checking out the Atlantic coast. So if you're new to this channel, I'm a British guy who's been learning as much as I can about college football in the short time that I've been watching it. We've checked out the Big 10, the Big 12, the SEC. I was calling it the SEC, but I think someone told me that's not how you say it. You just call it the SEC. Conferences so far. Today we're doing the Atlantic coast. The worldwide of stadiums this YouTube channel is called, so go and check them out. They've got plenty of videos, MLS, MLB, NFL, so we're going to probably check out a lot of them down the line. But yeah, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, hit the like button, and comment down below if there's any other videos you do want me to react to. We're going to jump straight into this and see some of the best stadiums in the Atlantic coast. Let's go.
After making a few college football videos, some people suggested that I just go through every FBS stadium.
Okay, so this is
and it's
his
a good
first
idea,
one.
but there are just so many stadiums, so it makes sense to go conference by conference. I'll be doing a new conference every week, and we'll start off with the Atlantic Coast Conference. Alumni Stadium, home to the Boston College Eagles. An unassuming classical design, but that doesn't mean it's boring. It actually hosted the New England Patriots for a year in 1969. They were known as the Boston Patriots back then, of course. And back then, the stadium looked a lot different. It even had a running track. That was gotten rid of when the stadium was renovated in the 90s. An interesting little tidbit is that every winter, an inflatable bubble covers the field in order to use it as a training facility in the freezing temperatures.
Okay.
They even put batting cages in there.
Okay, so this one was Boston College. I like the exterior of it. The exterior is pretty cool. Quite a small stadium. I think it said it's 44,000, but it's not a bad design overall. It's a little bit bland if I'm being harsh, but once it's full, you're not going to notice that, right? It's going to be nice and colourful in there. Overall, it's decent, quite small. It's not the worst we've seen on here, and I do like the fact that it's a traditional shape. It's quite symmetrical. Not the best we've seen on this channel either, though. So let's move on. Let's go on to the next one.
Doak Campbell Stadium.
Okay, so this is in Tallahassee, Florida. 79,000. Here we go. Big Boy Stadium, Bobby Bowden Field.
Home to the Florida State Seminoles. It has what is arguably one of the best looking exteriors in college football. The beautiful brick facade that wraps around the entirety of the stadium is in keeping with the architecture of the campus itself. There's also a huge stained glass window that depicts Bobby Bowden, whom the stadium is named after. Well, the field rather. The interior is a little underwhelming by comparison, but it's not bad at all. And it's got to be hard to compete with that exterior.
Okay, I really like this one, guys. Really like it. I love the shape of it. I love how just the round feel to it. Like he said, the exterior is absolutely beautiful. I don't think the inside looks that bad. Again, it's just like white bleachers, right? But once it's full, that doesn't really matter. The stained glass is a nice touch. Very cool. What was going to... This screen, what's going on this screen? If any of you guys have played Minecraft, it looks like there's a load of creepers on the screen. Like the screen's just going to blow up. I don't know if any of you have played Minecraft before. But there you go. Florida State University. Really like it. Honestly, good stadium.
And it's got to be hard to compete with that
Oh, they got a bit of a design on the interior, look.
exterior.
Okay. Georgia
Bobby
Tech.
Dodd Stadium, home to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
55k.
When they play Florida State, is it called the Battle of the Bobbies? Unlike the last one, the exterior is nothing to write home about. But it does have one notable feature, if you want to call it that, and that's the magnificent view of downtown Atlanta. And they have even stacked the seating on the north and western sides of the field in order to A, not block the view, and B, allow more spectators to have that view. It does make it look a little unusual, but in a good way, I think.
Okay, this one. My first impression here was it looks very uneven. I don't know why. I never noticed until I started doing these videos that I do like things to be quite symmetrical. This has like a couple of really big stands and then some small ones. But now that he's explained it so you get that view of downtown Atlanta, that's very cool. It's a very blurry picture, but it's very cool. So I do respect that. This looks beautiful, the exterior there, or the view that you'd get from being inside the stadium. It's a nice stadium. I prefer the last one, but it's still a solid stadium.
It does.
Duke.
Wallace Stadium, home to the Duke Blue Devils. It's a college that gets a lot of hate.
The Horseshoe. I don't know if I can get behind the Horseshoe. How many does this hold? 40,000.
But more so for their basketball team.
Why is the field
No
so brown?
hate should be directed towards the stadium though, because it's not bad at all. Just like Alumni Stadium, it too used to have a running track, but it was only removed 5 or 6 years ago after a major renovation. An interesting anomaly occurred in 1942 when this stadium hosted the Rose Bowl, instead of, the Rose Bowl. This was due to the West Coast's vulnerability to a Japanese air raid. Of course, AT&T Stadium hosted the 2021 Rose Bowl, for a completely different reason.
Okay, this is what I like about these videos. Like, I am interested in the stadiums themselves. I've always been a big fan of like English stadiums and the big stadiums around European football. But this guy does give me some little facts. I didn't even know that the Rose Bowl was played at a stadium called the Rose Bowl. Makes a lot of sense, but I didn't know that. This one, I know the horseshoe's traditional in America. I'm still struggling with it personally. It's just not normal to me. But what do I know? What do I know? It's just my opinion. It's not my favorite. It's because it's got a brown field as well. Why is the field brown? But I'm guessing it's just a bad season for the pitch. It's okay. Sorry, any Duke fans. We're going to be honest there, we're being honest.
Cardinal Stadium, home to the Louisville Cardinals.
Isn't there an NFL team called the Cardinals? With that exact same logo? Or have I dreamt that? The Louisville Cardinals, 61k. This one looks really unique. I might as well comment here now because I've already started. You've got like the horseshoe shape, but then with the really oddly shaped stand at the back, but I kind of like it.
It's
very contradictory because I know I said I like things to be symmetrical, but I kind of like this
located right next door to the famous Churchill Downs, home to the Kentucky Derby. It's got a bit of everything, this place. It's very modern and NFL-like on the inside, yet the exterior isn't too far removed from a classic college stadium. It just looks a little more cutting edge. And this stadium is a rarity in college football, given that the seating is made up entirely of bucket seating. The stadium's north end...
Bucket seating, is that just like a normal seat like we have in our football stadiums here? Like you just get your own seat?
Zone seating was expanded only a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay. It's beautiful, I really like this one. I probably have to put that as my favourite so far. It's very unique. I like it. See, this one, again, is a horseshoe, but this one looks really nice, 61K.
Scott Stadium, home to the University of Virginia Cavaliers. Located in the leafy surrounds of Virginia, is this beautiful horseshoe-shaped stadium, which, given they are called the Cavaliers, is rather appropriate.
Okay, yeah.
A horse rides into the stadium before every game as well, so there's plenty of horse action. One of the stadium's best features, in my opinion, although some might disagree, is the grass hill behind one of the end zones, which, if the weather is good, seems like a nice place to sit back and enjoy the game. However, if it's raining, or even worse, snowing, it would be horrible. So you're really gambling when you purchase a ticket in this section.
Could be worth the risk though. That would be a nice little spot just to relax and chill and watch the game. Really like this one. Clean looking stadium. Wouldn't put it as my favourite, but it's solid.
So you're really gambling. Carrier Dome, home to Syracuse Orange. Is their team named after the colour or the fruit? That doesn't really matter, because their stadium is something very special. It's the biggest dome stadium on a college campus, and it also hosts basketball, making it the biggest college basketball arena as well. However, it doesn't quite reach its football capacity. The stadium has recently undergone a renovation, where the inflatable roof was replaced with a steel cable-supported one.
Oh, okay.
It's a similar story to Canada's BC Place.
Okay, let's go back. I like the idea that it's got a roof. It looks a bit better here, but we don't really have a better image. The inflatable roof looks a bit odd. It kind of looks like a giant marshmallow in the middle of a city. It's hard to say. The inside looks really good. Looks really good. I like it a lot. And I bet it's loud in there. If the fans are good, it must be really loud in there. I quite like this. It's unique. So, I like it.
Clemson Memorial Stadium, home to the Clemson Tigers. The stadium also goes by the name Death Valley, and I can understand why. The field kinda looks like a green gully between two steep rocky mountains. As for the death part, well, I suppose that has something to do with the sacrifice of a small goat that occurs before every game.
He's definitely joking. I'm not even falling for that. He's definitely joking. There's no sacrificial goats in Clemson. Surely not. It's pretty cool. Again, it's so uneven, but the east and the west stands are even. It is pretty cool. It looks pretty intimidating because of how high and how steep those two stands are. The exterior looks bust up though. Is this just a dodgy image? What is going on in this exterior?
Some of these college football traditions are quite strange, but you gotta love it. Or maybe it has something to do with the cemetery next door. Not sure.
I thought I was.
But what I am sure of is that this is one imposing structure. And just like Alumni Stadium, it too hosted a professional team for just one season. That was the Carolina Panthers in 1995.
Okay.
Hard Rock Stadium, home to the Miami Hurricanes and the Dolphins of course, but this isn't an NFL video. The stadium started off life in the 80s as a fairly simple stadium without any roof canopies. It was designed with a wider field than usual, so it could accommodate baseball. However, this wasn't an ideal situation, and in 2015 it was renovated into the football-specific stadium that we see today, although it does host a tennis tournament once a year. The new design looks incredible. The exterior has a wraparound porch look to it, and the interior's vibrant colour looks fantastic.
That one's sick. This one's really sick. Love it. Absolutely love it. This is a beautiful building. So it said it hosts an NFL team as well. It's really nice. Hats off to you guys. This one is beautiful. Good stuff. That goes to the top of the list. Maybe I'm suffering with a bit of recency bias here, but I think this one would be my favourite, honestly. Really nice.
Interior's vibrant.
Heinz Field,
Heinz
68K.
Field, home to the Pittsburgh Panthers. And the Steelers, of course. And the fictional team, the Gotham Rogues, featured in The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh.
A lot of the time when a college team plays at an NFL stadium, it's an afterthought. But the Panthers were involved with the project from the get-go, basically. It is just a stone's throw from PNC Park, one of the MLB's best stadiums. You don't get quite the same view from the seats of Heinz Field as you do from PNC Park, but the view is still pretty good if you're sitting in the right seats, due to the open end on the river side of the field. Oddly enough, both the Pirates and the Steelers' old stadium was situated right between the two new stadiums.
So again, this one is really, really good, guys. This one's awesome. It's kind of cheating though, because the last two that I have really liked, they're also NFL stadiums, so you know it's a bit of a cheat, that, isn't it? But I know the college teams do still play there. But it's cheating a little bit, but it is really nice, nice and colourful. Looks massive. Still, that one tiny stand. I know it's for the big screen, but still, it kind of gets me a little. It's good. It's good. Pittsburgh. This view looks awesome as well of the river. Oh, I'm going too far.
Was situated right between the two new stadiums.
Okay. Nice small one, 50K.
Kenan Memorial Stadium, home to the North Carolina Tar Heels. It is considered by many to be the most beautiful stadium in college football. And that is up for debate, but it does have a lot going for it. For starters, there's plenty of trees surrounding the stadium, and a nice little clock tower. Also, the extensive use of brick throughout looks pretty good. And the metal bleachers were recently replaced with Carolina blue seats, which reduced the capacity but increased the audacity. No, that doesn't make sense. It made it look better and made it more comfortable for the fans. All that combined makes for a great stadium.
Okay, He said it was the most, or widely known as the most beautiful. From the outside, it does look very nice. I think we've seen some better exteriors, though. I don't want to cause a fuss here, but I feel like I've seen some better exteriors than this. And the inside's nothing crazy. The stands are nothing crazy. It's a very nice looking stadium. Normally, I'd say I really like this one. It's just the fact that he said it's the most beautiful one. Kind of throw me off a little. It's kind of made me more of a harsher critic towards this stadium. It is very nice. It's not my favourite, though. You guys let me know, is this widely known as the best stadium? Probably going to get hate now, aren't I? Lane Stadium. 65k.
Lane Stadium, home to the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Hokies.
Huh? Oh, Virginia Tech Hokies. First impressions are that the exterior is very monochromatic.
This one's a bit
but
odd,
importantly,
cool.
It is one of the many college stadiums that resembles a castle.
Ooh.
I would ask why they do it, but
Love
the
it.
obvious answer is, why the heck not?
Yeah, why not? Exactly. Yeah, this one's awesome.
Just like the last stadium, there are plenty of trees within view, and when autumn, or fall, swings around, the leaves are roughly the same colour as the team's jersey.
Solid job,
The
Virginia
atmosphere
Tech.
at this stadium is known for being incredibly loud for its size.
Wake Forest.
Truist Field,
31.
home to the Wake Forest
Very
Demon
small.
Deacons. This relatively small stadium is reminiscent of many different small college stadiums across the US that have roughly the same design made up of two stands. However, this one is just that little bit better. Once again, it has a grass hill at one end. That's good. But more impressive is the facade of one of the stands.
It's very nice.
It is in keeping with the general aesthetic of the Wake Forest campus. I quite like this stadium.
It's very small, but it is very nice. You know, I do like it. It's very clean looking. The field looks good. That grass hill looks very nice. The surroundings look good. You've got the baseball field right there next to it. I like it. Small, but sweet.
It's simple done right. And last but not least, Carter-Finley Stadium, home to NC State Wolfpack. Another stadium that did have a grassy hill behind the north end zone, up until a grandstand was constructed in the mid-2000s, which changed it from a horseshoe to a bowl stadium. The seating is now made up of a mix of bench and bucket seating. The facade of the main stand has more of a modern look than most of the other stadiums in this conference, and due to the fact that the field is sunken into the ground, the rest of the stadium doesn't really have an exterior.
I do quite like the sunken field look though. This one's nice. Again, it's just a bit sticky out bits here and there. The east and west stands are so much bigger, but then I don't know if it's the east or west is just way bigger than the other one because it's got like the sky boxes, I think you guys call them. It is nice. It's not one of my favourites though.
Ground, the rest of the stadiums of the
And that was the last one. The Carter-Finley Stadium was the final one. I don't know what my favourite one was. I'd probably choose the Hard Rock one. I really liked that, but it was also shared with an NFL team. So it is cheating a little bit, but I would choose that one. You guys let me know which one is your favourite from the Atlantic Coast Conference. I didn't mean to offend any of you guys if I said I didn't like the stadium. And I'm very aware that stadiums look a lot better when they are filled with people than they do when they're empty. And the atmosphere differs from stadium to stadium. So that's stuff I've not taken into consideration in this video. Hope you still did enjoy the video. And like I said, comment down below. Let me know which one is your favourite. Do you agree with this guy's comments on what he said as well? Let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the videos. And give the video a like as well. I'll see you for the next one. Take it easy. Peace.